And welcome back, crew, to another episode of Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at beautiful Haulover Inlet here in Miami, and today's going to be a fun one. We got a 17-mile-an-hour wind with gusts up to 25 miles an hour, some heavy seas. It's going to be interesting to see how our captains fare as they do battle with the inlet. And this is going to bring us to the first round of our competition, and here in the first round, the boats are going to toss a Midnight Express in the ring to see if they can go ahead and grab the early advantage. But let's get the first round started, and here we go. Our crew is coming out of Haulover, throttles pinned. We got a full send cap on our hands here as he's trying to work his way out of the inlet. Always interesting to see how these ones go, especially on rough days like today, but right now he's got that boat high up on top of the waves, keeping the bow up, and really looks pretty solid. Takes a good shot from Haulover right there, but overall never really backs off on the throttle and just keeps pounding his way out, even as he works his way out into the heavier rollers that are just outside of the inlet. Here you can see from the aerial shot they do a good job staying on top of the waves, just letting this Midnight Express skip along, and this crew winds up easily taking a win for the boats here in the first round. It's going to bring us to the second round of our contest. The boats have taken an early 1-0 edge, and the boats are going to try and continue that one by tossing a yacht in the ring, as we're going to see a galleon yacht come in and try and take on Haulover. And man, this is going to be a rough one. The seas have definitely started to pick up, and our crew is struggling. They do have the throttle on this one down, and right there, they stuffed the bow a little bit. This is an epically rough ride for this crew. I mean, this is a really good sized boat, and they are doing everything they can just to muscle their way out, keeping the boat barely up on plane, trying to let it do its thing. But again, Haulover is throwing everything she's got at this one, and this crew is taking a ridiculously rough ride as they try and work their way out. Here we can see they wind up stuffing the bow right here, taking water over the front, getting the crew up top on the flybridge soaked as they're trying to work their way out. This is a really tough one because this crew really did battle and try and make it out of Haulover, but unfortunately, even though they made it out, they wound up stuffing the bow. And as many of you know, we've only got a few rules, and one, if you wind up stuffing the bow, you take the L, and unfortunately, this boat is going to take a loss here in the second round. And that will move us to the third round of our contest. We are now tied at 1 apiece, and the boats are going to toss another Midnight Express in the ring to see how it can fare. Hopefully, it has the same luck as our last Midnight, and here we go. Our crew is making their way toward the mouth of Haulover. They've got this boat again up and moving, trying to keep that bow up. They have a couple close calls with the heavy following sea where the bow almost goes down, but Cap's doing what he's got to do to try and get this thing through into the mouth of the inlet, and looks pretty good. But this is a big boat, and you can see how much it's bouncing up off these waves, just to give you an idea of how rough the conditions are today. But Cap's got her opened up, working his way toward the mouth of the inlet. It even looks like he's one engine down, takes a little smack at the end, but overall winds up making it in okay, and will wind up taking a win for the boats here in the third round. Haulover's got some work to do to try and get back into this one, as the boats now take the 2-1 edge as we move into the fourth round of our contest. And here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss a pro line in the ring to go ahead and see if they can either close it out early, or if Haulover can crawl back into this one and try and take a victory. Now this one's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, as this is the smallest boat we've seen trying to come through Haulover today, and with seas like we're seeing, that one can be a challenge. But sometimes these smaller boats have a little advantage. They can work a little more methodically through the waves, trying to pick their way through, making sure they get the correct line and approaching the waves at the correct angle. A lot of times when we see these bigger boats come through, they don't have much of a choice. All they can do really is get on the throttle and try and power their way through, just using the pure size of their vessel to their advantage. Here, our crews decided to go the opposite way, using the size of their vessel to their advantage, but the fact that it's smaller to their advantage. And right now they look pretty solid. They're going to sneak out of Haulover, wind up taking the win, which means the boats are going to take the early victory in this contest. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things around the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, we do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens around the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.